Hey y'all, Charleston's first health and wellness festival is coming up in just a few weeks. Live Wild Fest is taking place May 4th and 5th at Holy City Brewing in North Charleston, and it is the first of its kind. Rather than being your normal health and wellness expo where you receive thousands of business cards, Live Wild Fest is entirely experiential. Join them for 2 full days of offerings from movement classes, meditation, cacao ceremonies, cold plunging, saunas, and more, and all of it supporting and uplifting local businesses. Each day ends with live music from artists such as Arizona, Matt Kearney, Evan Gia, and more. Whether you are new to health and wellness or you are a seasonal practitioner, this festival is for you. You will leave inspired, connected, and part of a community based on joy and celebration. So join them at Live Wild Fest this May 4th and 5th. They have single day or full weekend passes available now. The ticket link is livewildfest.com/tickets. Again, that's livewildfest.com/tickets. Holy City Center Radio, this is episode 245, and I am your host, Christian Sanger. Today is Monday, April 22nd, 2024. Hello, everyone. I hope your week is off to a good start. The weekend was awesome. Weather on Saturday was hot, but it was amazing to be out in North Charleston at the High Water Festival. I'm recording this on Sunday, where I'm about to head back over there. However, I'm looking out my window, and the rain that has been predicted sure seems to be on its way. So who knows what actually happened at Sunday's version of the High Water Fest, but Saturday was a lot of fun. I'm really hoping the weather holds out enough that all the acts can get in, nothing gets canceled. We'll see what happens. But as of recording, everything is still on. However, some other events were canceled or moved around, postponed, etc. The biggest one, of course, was the air show that was going on. I know they moved up the time of that, but still had to cancel the remainder of the show due to weather. Hopefully, whatever you were doing wasn't canceled or postponed, and you were still able to have a good weekend if they were. But yes, High Water Fest. I was mostly excited about Sunday's lineup. Some bands that I just felt like Sunday's lineup for my bands that I like or interested in. I just thought it was a better lineup. So really hoping it gets in and it's not too crappy out, because I certainly don't want to stand in the rain and have to go through all the mud and everything that I'm sure Riverfront Park will have if it rains enough. But Saturday was really great. Weather was perfect. Tons of people were there. It was packed. And there was some traffic issues for sure, not just getting in, but I heard it was a nightmare getting out of there. I usually leave early when I go to the High Water Fest. I'll stay for the headliner a few songs in, and then I usually get out because I do not want to be stuck in traffic. And it's worked out well for me. But apparently, anyone who stayed even remotely close towards the end of the actual final set ran into some issues with traffic and being told the wrong directions to go to like where rideshare pickups are and things like that. Hopefully that improved on Sunday as well. Of course, when you're hearing this, we'll already know what happened, but not much of a recap, I know, but it was a good time. I tried to find some shade because it was pretty hot out. Successfully avoided any sunburn on Saturday, so that was good. But yeah, Noah Khan was the headliner, which seemed like most people were there for. Although, of course, Shovels and Rope, put on a great set. Some other highlights included the Walkmen, Fleet Foxes, and Courtney Barnett, who I didn't know anything about beforehand. She put on a really good set as well. So definitely check those folks out if you haven't ever heard of them or know very little. I certainly will be pulling them up on my Spotify and whatnot to learn more, because the music was really good. Otherwise, I've been laying pretty low. My parents are in town with their dog, so it's been great visiting with them. We haven't done anything too exciting. They've gone out and done stuff when I'm working, but we haven't, done anything worth reporting back on. But it's just been nice hanging out with them, relaxing, and just spending time with them. I have been finally watching some new shows after rewatching the same things over and over again lately. It felt like I finally decided to dive into some new shows that people have been talking about. I wouldn't say either are you must run out and watch these right now. They're just so good, but both have are solid. I've enjoyed both. Both have been entertaining. That is The Night Agent, which is more of like an action spy mystery type thing. A little bit, some corny lines are in there, and some of the acting is a little hit or miss, but overall, an entertaining show. I definitely enjoyed it. And the second is a show called Three Body Problem, which is more sci-fi, uh, but not like beating you over the head type of sci-fi. Sometimes this some of these things are different worlds, different planets, different time, space, and I know that for some people that's a turnoff. But this is taking place in essentially modern times, but a little bit different version of it. So it's not like completely beating you over the head with the sci-fi and fantasy, um, which again, some people just don't like, which I understand. So this one isn't quite that far, but it's been pretty entertaining so far. I've enjoyed it. So again, neither show I think is one of those must watches. You have to go do it now, but if you're looking for some new shows, both have been pretty entertaining. But enough about me, enough about what's going on in my life. Let's get into the latest news. North Charleston Police Department Chief Greg Gomes announced on Friday that he'll be retiring from the department. He sent that in a letter and then also posted a video on Facebook, specifically on the police department's page, letting everyone know about this. His last day will be June 30th. Sort of a surprise, I think, to those of us who may not know him personally, as he's only been on the job for about a year. But he said in the statement that this was kind of always his plan. He said, quote, "When I stepped in, I understood that it may be a short term depending on what happened with the election. The new mayor may go in a new direction. I only had originally thought that maybe I would only be there 6 months in the role." So the election he's talking about is the one that recently happened where the former police chief in North Charleston, Reggie Burgess, had announced his retirement and then ran for mayor of North Charleston, of course, because Keith Summy was retiring from that role. Burgess ended up winning the election, and kept Gomes in place. So, but he still said that no matter what happened, he kind of planned on this being short term. So, what's going to happen from here? So, his last day is June 30th. Mayor Burgess has said the search for a replacement has begun, and it will actually be a national search. The last few police chiefs have been based here locally, but and it the person who ends up getting the job still may be a local, but they're not just going to focus here. They're going to look across the country. And I will certainly keep you updated on who ends up getting that role or if there's any news beforehand, who's interviewing and things like that. So stay tuned. If you've ever wanted to be a paid extra on one of the television series or movies that film down here, well, you have two possibilities. One is kind of open to everyone. The other is a little bit more specific. But the first one is HBO's The Righteous Gemstones. They're coming back for their fourth season. This is a show that is written, produced, and stars Danny McBride, who calls Sullivan's Island home now, and has for the last several years. And the show has filmed all of their seasons in and around the Charleston area, with some exceptions for certain scenes or episodes, but by and large here in this area. And a lot of people have been able to work as paid extras. So you're not going to have any speaking lines. For those who aren't familiar with the term extras, this is more you're in the background. You may or may not end up on TV, but even if you don't, it's a pretty fun experience to just be there and see how television production works. Be able to see some of the actors depending on what scene you are in, seeing them act, or just being on set is a really cool experience. I've been an extra on a couple things. I didn't end up being on television or in a movie, but was there just to kind of see how things work. And it's pretty interesting, and you get paid regardless. It's not a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but if you happen to be free on whatever day they need you, why not? You make a little bit of spending money and have some fun just seeing again behind the scenes. So this one is more broad. It's pretty much open to everyone. Filming isn't going to begin for about a month or so. But this local casting agency, Tona B. Dahlquist Casting, they're recommending that you get your submissions in now, just so it makes it a little bit easier and quicker. And if you wait for when they need someone in a week or two, it might be too late. They're probably going to go with someone whose information they already have on file and can get to quickly. So for details, visit the link in the show notes. It'll tell you the email address that you have to send your submission to and what you need to include with that. And again, even if you have no idea if you're going to be available, if you're have a full-time job, you work normal hours, still submit, because they'll email you and ask if you're available for certain days or times. And sometimes they're, overnight shoots. It's possible you could be shooting on the weekend. So if you have a job Monday through Friday, there's still a chance that you could be chosen and have that availability. So even if you have a small interest, not sure if you can do it, why not send them an email. So go ahead and visit the link in the show notes for more information. Now, the other casting opportunities with the same casting company, but this one's a little bit more specific. They're currently seeking Civil War reenactors and reenactment groups for an upcoming project that will be filming here in the Charleston area. That's all the details I have on it. So I have no idea if it's a movie, if it's a series, if it's a documentary that they're going to have, just like reenactment things. I have no idea what the project is, but that's what they're looking for. Now, even if you're not like an official reenactor, if you're one of those folks who has worked as an extra before, specifically in any production where you may have, been like a Civil War soldier or something, they're looking specifically for those types of folks. Same thing with submissions. I have a link in the show notes where you will email the casting company. They have a few things that you need to include. So you can, if you think you may fit that, you can go ahead and visit that link in the show notes and go ahead and get that submission in. And once I know more about this project, 'cause I'm sure some of you are interested just to know what exactly this is, I'll be sure to share that as well, because I'm interested. I want to know, what is this, some new movie that's filming down here? Is this going to be a huge project? We'll certainly see. I'll keep you all posted if I hear anything. And that will do it for this Monday edition of Holy City Center Radio. I hope you have an amazing week ahead. I need to thank you all for listening, and thank Lindsay Marie Collins with LMC Sound System for producing this and every episode of Holy City Center Radio. And also a big thank you to Tyler Boone, whose music you hear in each and every show. I will be back with you on Wednesday. Until then, good night and good luck.